All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Retro Jersey Podcast. We are back, and we got a bit of bad news. If you're a Florida State fan, I've been meaning to put other stuff up, but I don't have a chance to right now, but we'll get to it. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit notifications so every time you know we'll do a show. We're gonna do it pre-recorded today because I have a big day ahead of me as far as my other shows are concerned. So just go ahead and hit that, and we'll get back to live next week. If you are a Florida State fan, you got to be shaking your head about what is going on in Tallahassee. I live right next door to Tallahassee, not too far from it, you know, and the vibe here, because it's so many Florida State fans, the vibe here about the news of them keeping Mike Norvell has got people sick and tired of the program. It says FSU will retain Mike Norvell. They made the announcement Sunday after another embarrassing loss Friday night to the North Carolina State Wolfpack, whom they haven't beaten since 2000 and what is it, 2019? What was the score? 21-11. That's embarrassing within itself. A wrestler can score more points than Florida State can. This dropped them down to 5-6, and they're on the brink of not being bowl eligible again. In the past 8 years, we have 6 losing seasons. This is between Norvell and Taggart. Not to bring Coach Taggart in for him to catch a stray, but Coach Taggart wasn't this damn bad. Coach Taggart was not this damn bad. He was bad, but he wasn't this bad. Nor did they give him the same amount of time to correct it as they are giving Norvell. But that's another story, and you know where I'm going. Now, let me get this right. You fired Coach Bobby Bowden for a few subpar seasons, a couple of 7 and 8 record game winning seasons. And this dude, Norvell, it barely can win 5 a year. This is troubling because when Coach Bowden got there in 1976, and when he left in 2010, he only had 1 losing season. I went to Coach Bowden's last game, and this is for the man that built the program. Y'all were trying to rush him out of there. Even Charlie Chris stepped in at one point saying, "You can stay as long as you want to, coach." He even got paid less annually than this dude is, Norvell is right now. Coach Bowden's the first coach to catch $1 million contract annually. He finished it off with $2 million a season. Now this dude Norvell is getting $8 million a season. Coach Bowden got paid way less for better results than this dude is doing right now. I get why y'all think keeping him was a good money move. Probably going to save $8 million a season. But honestly, think about all the money that you're going to be losing because people have been turning down their uh their season ticket passes all season long. People have been turning them down now. So you're losing more money by trying to save 8 million, turn around and lose hundreds of $1 millions during the season next year. Now, also hearing that he could be on for 2027 as well. I'm trying to understand why they didn't jump on this James Franklin thing when they had a chance. These dudes lost to the 137th ranked passing defense in the country. Deuce only had like 2 catches or something like that. And the QB, Tommy Castellano, didn't do him any favors. I When it comes to throwing the ball, I don't think he has the best mechanics. His mechanics are bad. He throws off his side or his back foot. And he just heaves it up there and won't just waiting for Deuce to come down with it. Nothing against him, but he just don't have the best football mechanics when it comes to throwing. In the NFL, I look for him to be a gadget player or the CFL, wherever he goes. Something like Randall L. He doesn't have good pocket patience. He's not smooth and has the patience of Jordan Travis. Jordan Travis was smooth. He had pocket patience, and he had a terrible O-line, and Jordan Travis made things happen. Tommy Castellano's O-line play is way better than what Jordan Travis and Dalvin Cook ever had to deal with. So let me get this right. UFSU higher-ups thought that retaining this dude, saving you $16 million, because they're going to keep him until 2027. You can believe that. No matter what happens, they're going to keep him until 2027. You have basically told the Seminole Nation, F your feelings. F your feelings. Oh, I'm going to tell you what they really, really thinking. If you don't want him there so bad, y'all raise the money up yourself as a fan base. Raise the money up yourselves, and we'll get rid of him. That's what they're hoping. So the university don't have to come out of the pockets. Let me talk to the old school fans right quick. When is it acceptable in Florida State history? When in Florida State history is it acceptable for us to be okay with 5 wins and talking about the fact that they're improving? When has that been the standard? All you young Seminole fans that be in these groups saying they're making improvements, and you old Seminole fans that don't know football and ain't played a down of football should not even be talking. Y'all watch Florida State for fun or just to go hang out with your buddies. We take this serious. So let's stop it with these excuses for this dude, because he is not good. I'm sure he's a good person, and everything, but he is not Florida State football coach worthy. I see Deuce did get 1,000 yards passing, and I honestly think he should have got 1,300. He should be 1,300, but he did pass Kelvin Benjamin and Anquan Bolden. So congratulations to that. I don't think they'll keep him. I think he'll be going to the NFL next year, and rightfully so. Who wants to stay for this dumpster fire? Now they got to worry about Danzy. They got to worry about keeping Danzy. How's that going to work? You got the Seminole greats weighing in, saying the same thing that real Seminole fans already know. it's time for a change. I seen Danny Canal getting, you know, getting personal about this. I seen Antonio Cromartie getting personal about it. There are many more, but I'm not going to say their names. And I'll lead you off with one later on in the show. I'll lead off with something that I thought about. I'm going to show you something. I want you to think about this. This is selfishness. This is selfishness. You know you're not doing a good job. You know the job you're doing sucks. Why continue to money, take the money, and feel like, hey, they got to pay me anyway? If I wasn't doing a good job, I wouldn't want nobody's money. I want to work and prove my worth to the people I'm working for. I'm not just going to sit up there and take people's money. It's selfish. Anybody saying they would do that is not thinking about the program. Anybody saying they would do that is selfish and greedy. You're just not a good person. We'll have more on this later. So now my next topic is definitely disturbing and alarming and surprising. Y'all remember NFL great Don Beebee, who played with the Buffalo Bills? Well, he is the football coach at Aurora University in Illinois. This one is surprising to me because, you know, I thought better of this guy. Um, Says a young man by the name of Brooke Williams, who was attending the university at the time, was targeted with racial slurs by all white teammates, saying the wildest stuff they can say to him. One even said, "I thought you people slept in trees." Even making fun of George Floyd, the George Floyd situation. Stuff gets me choked up when I talk about this stuff. Now, now I will say this: they they stood on business. Aurora stood on business, like the kids like to say. Aurora stood on business in this one, and after they investigated this, the university held the clowns accountable. Held the clowns accountable. They suspended the two losers after an investigation. They suspended these two losers because it was two of them that were the prime antagonists. They said that after reviewing everything, that young Brooke was in a hostile environment, and they suspended the two losers for the rest of the season. After all that was going on, now this is where I get ticked off with Don Beebee. He tells Brooke, "Hey, just go on back and let everything blow over, and nobody hear about this again. Forget about it, and it'll blow over." I'm gonna snap in a minute. Little fella, you didn't watch Don BB because you're too young, obviously. You, you he when you didn't watch him when he knocked the ball out of Leon Lett's hand, chased him down in the Super Bowl. You didn't see that. The same Don Beebe who lost 4 straight Super Bowls with the Buffalo Bills. You didn't see that. The same Don Beebee that was one of the fastest men in the NFL, definitely the fastest white brother that NFL has seen. You didn't see that. His excuse was, when they interviewed him, his excuse was, hey, I had black teammates who cracked jokes, who cracked racist jokes with me. Listen, I he played with some greats. He played with Bruce Smith, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, Tally. There's no way Thurman Thomas is taking that garbage. There's no way Thurman Thomas is taking that garbage. Thurman Thomas always considered himself the Charles Barkley of football. He wouldn't play that garbage. To this young fella, hey, I know football is your dream, but brother, there are hundreds of HBCUs you can go to. Hundreds of HBCUs you can go to. That, you know, matter of fact, I got a good friend that's the head coach at FAMU, my favorite defensive back at Florida State. I could give him a call for you. Go where you are celebrated. That's what I'm going to say to you. Don't try to fit in where you can't fit in. That's all I'll say about that. That's just disgusting, man. I mean, leave your comments in the, you know, leave your comments down low, because this right here has got my mind muffled. I expected better out of Don Beebee. But back on this FSU thing, if you guys go to my channel, and I want you to, I'll leave the description, I'll leave the link in the comments. Go look back at the PK Sam interview I did a year or so back. And what he said is starting to amplify more true every season Florida State plays. When I talked to PK, he said to me, a former Florida State great told him that Florida State was going to be terrible for a long time. Now, you can go back and listen to the interview. He said Florida State was going to be terrible for a long time. And he said an ex-Florida State great told him that. Let's be honest now. They got some... Now, that's my school and I love them, but they got a little blood on their hands. Is it that they're coming back? You remember Devon and DeVard Darling played for FSU, and DeVard passed away during practice, and they wouldn't allow Devon to play at Florida State, and he had to go out to Washington to play. Could this be karma? Could this be karma? Because they got pretty much nothing out of his passing. His family got pretty much nothing. And me and PK talked about that. But he did say that they would be bad for years, and he was not lying. He was not lying. So shout out to PK Sam. This is the Retro Jersey Podcast, so we got a couple of retro memories. Today is the birthday of one of the greatest basketball players of all time, the big old Oscar Robertson. Mr. Triple Double himself. He would have been 87 today. 181 triple doubles. I think he just got surpassed by Russell Westbrook not too far back. I don't consider that. That's to me that's the equivalent of um, Barry Bonds being the home run king over Hank Aaron. Stat patters. That's what they were, enhancers and stat patters. No disrespect to Barry Bonds, but I'm just saying. Did you know he was married to Esther Roll, aka Florida Evans off Good Times? Did you know that? I didn't either till a few years back. Other things that happened on this day in sports. In 1960, Wilt Chamberlain pulled down 55 rebounds in a 131 to 129 win over the Boston Celtics. 55 rebound, bro. That's crazy. That's like 6 games today for somebody that could rebound. In 1989, Wayne Gretzky scored his 600th goal. Salute to the great one. They call him Wayne Gretzky. Salute, brother. And in 1984, I know you Hurricane fans gonna hate this. This day in 1984, Doug Flutie hit y'all with a 48-yard Hail Mary to beat the Hurricanes. Flutie did it. Flutie did it. Who did it? The Butler didn't do it. Flutie did it. So that'll be all today, ladies and gentlemen. Please go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, leave your comments down low, and hopefully we'll start getting our studio back up. It's going to take a little bit longer than I thought, but hopefully we can get that back up and running and be back online again. All right. This has been the Retro Jersey Podcast. Salute.